I hate when I have boogers in the morning.
Take out your earphones.
What's an earphone?
They got on.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Yesterday we bought a STI. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out so you'll understand what's going on right now. We're in Leavenworth. I kept saying Leavenworth yesterday and it's not Leavenworth, there's no S. S is for sissies. We're not sissies. This is what it looks like outside of our newest hotel room. This is a hotel. Bobby's got her grunts on the floor.
Those are not mine, those are yours.
Bedroom's upstairs. This is where you drink Fireball. We have to go break into the STI because we're locked out of the STI. So we're gonna go do that, and then we're gonna go buy some parts for the car as well. You ready to hit the road, Jack?
Been waiting my whole life.
So I heard that you said yesterday that you want to break into the car for me.
I said I need a coat hanger. It depends what kind of lock is in the car, but if I can get the coat hanger in the window and press the unlock button, it should come unlocked. Clean up your grunts.
We lost the key for the STI.
Maybe.
You find it?
No.
Shit. Maybe it's in the Evo.
Why would it be in the Evo?
Because we drove the Evo last night.
Okay, go check while I clean up apparently.
Haha. Got her. Okay, so a few hours later, we finally got into the STI. I went and purchased, where the hell is that thing? It was like some sort of hot dog stick. And unfortunately, we had to completely destroy the wrap to get into this damn car. The nearest locksmith was in Wenatchee, and that would have been a very expensive situation. So we got into it. Of course, this wrap is completely fucked, but stressful shit, huh?
Mexican food?
Yes. So last night at the meet, there was a kind young gentleman, and their family owns a Mexican restaurant here in Kashmir. So we decided to come through, check it out. Apparently the best Mexican food in the world. So we're gonna go test it out, see if it's sus or see if it's legit. And make sure we don't lock. God, that looks terrible. Make sure we don't lock the STI. That thing is hammered. I'm hoping I didn't I'm sure I scratched the paint a little bit. I'm hoping I didn't dent anything though. That thing is fuckered, and we broke that too. Big ol' rip. What is this doing here? Damn. The R32 GTR? What? What?
Okay, that made me smile. You can tell them why I'm proud.
Bobby is upset about her cat, but then she saw a GTR and got excited, so.
I'm sad about my cat because nobody's there to give him food.
10 out of 10, would recommend. Alright, we started making our way back home. On the way, I picked up a new rear bumper for the STI. I don't know what brand it is. It's like a Varus style. I'm not sure what brand it is. It's a fiberglass one, and I hope it fits all right. But we are in the middle of the mountains right now. Bobby's been ripping the 10. I've been trying to rip the 8, or the STI. She doesn't run too well, so I can't really rip her all that well. But nice little STI, and an Evo, and a Bobby, or a Bobby Wallace. These are some really fun roads to rip. Sheesh.
Cookies?
Sure. So we made it back home. Took a while, but we did it. And we just had dinner, and Bobby said she's still hungry. And she has requested that we buy cookies. We've been eating like shit, not gonna lie. We haven't worked out since freaking Wednesday. I've really been enjoying life these days.
And your belly has been too. I look like death because I'm losing my summer tan.
No, nobody's gonna know. I found something out the other day.
What's up?
To the boys watching my channel. Women actually don't wear makeup to impress anyone else besides themselves. I just had to think about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a shit if you wear makeup or not. Nobody else does. Your mama don't, your dada don't, Coda don't. The only person that you care about wearing makeup for is yourself. And it's very odd. Okay, let's go buy cookies. Can we walk though?
No.
That thing's got fat potential, my guy. Look at the damn thing. Oh wait, we can't take that car.
Why?
Honey, the frickin' bumpers are like jammed in there. Okay, I'll fit, whatever. Fuck. I can't close the damn door.
Does this fit me?
Yes.
Look at that fat ass. peanut butter chocolate chip.
You're getting 2?
Yes. Some of Bobby's baked goods. I freaking hate baking. Even though this isn't real baking.
It fell apart. Wow. Mmm.
Did I do a good baking job?
Yes, Bobby. What's up, guys? On my way to the shop right now, and I just passed a Huracan. Very rarely you see a Huracan in Spokane, Washington. I know I don't got my seatbelt on. You gotta remember, this car didn't include seatbelts. And that was a sick RS. Let's go work on this thing. Let's see what this thing needs. Give her some love. We got the car in the shop. I don't think we've ever, actually that's a lie. We've had a red car. Bobby's old Evo was red, but this color is pretty sick. This is a satin, a chrome satin red, I think it's called. And it's made by Tech Wrap. This car is originally black. The problem with buying wrapped cars is I have no idea what's underneath the wrap. I don't know if the paint is in good condition. I don't know if it's beat. It's also wide bodied, so I don't know if the previous owner or whoever installed the wide body did a solid job welding the rear quarter panels. There's a lot to find out on this car. I don't think I'm gonna change the color. I actually really enjoy and love this color. But of course we do have to fix this whole pillar from when we had to break into it, which kind of sucks. So it's gonna be from here all the way up and then back down. The whole quarter panel as well. The first thing I like to do anytime I buy a new car is go through, clean it up, inside, exterior, engine bay, get a whole entire list of stuff that is wrong with the car. Not necessarily mods that I want to do to the build, but just stuff that's wrong with it. And this car's got quite a bit wrong with it, fortunately and unfortunately. Honestly, that's when I feel like that's when I'm the most happiest, or the most happy, I guess I should say, is when I feel like I'm resurrecting a car, like taking a car that needs a ton of love, fixing it up, making it nice again. So to be honest, I'm super excited for this STI build. I've always wanted an STI hatch and I've never had one. I had an 08 WRX hatch way back in the day before YouTube ever was a thing for me, but I only had it for a few, like maybe a month or two. So let's start running through every single thing that I think this car needs, starting with the exterior. Of course, it needs a front bumper, rear bumper, because the diffuser was cut out. I don't really like that whole look. It just looks super naked and empty down there. This wing right here, not sure why the top of it was not wrapped, but needs to be wrapped and potentially installed. It's a little bit floppy. It does have a, I believe it's a Cybon hood on it. I actually really love this hood. I'm glad it came with it. The gaps of the hood are a little bit suspect. Pretty tight right there, and then it gets pretty loose back there. So we're gonna have to fix those gaps. Moving on to the wide body. I'm not sure if these kits don't fit good. It is a MNT rider or a mountain rider or something like that kit, wide body kit, and they're not a cheap kit by any means. I think it's like $3,500 to $4,000 for this wide body kit, but just how it fits really bugs me. I'm guessing there's supposed to be something back in here because there's a big old gap. Not the biggest fan of that. Where it comes down and meets the side skirt, it's kind of bent. It's not clean looking whatsoever. So I want to clean all of that up. This is like actual sealant. So I'm not sure if they were hiding a gap that was uneven right here with that sealant. Either way, we're gonna have to pull off the front fenders to fix everything with the side skirts. The front isn't so bad. The rear is what I'm mostly worried about. Once again, where it meets the side skirt, not clean in my opinion. That could be cleaned up quite a bit. This gap here, it's not terrible on the passenger side, but I feel like it still could be a little bit better, you know, especially down through here. It gets pretty freaking wide. Moving on back here, I feel like it's supposed to line up with the bumper, especially when I show you guys the other side. So this is sitting over the bumper, probably what, 3/4 to a whole inch. Other than that, this side isn't so bad. When you open the door, it's pretty clean down in here. It looks like they trimmed the door, which I did not see that before, but overall it's not terrible. And then once again, it has the sealant on there which I guess we'll figure out if that gap is decent or if it's completely off. Now, when you come over to the driver's side, that's when things get a little bit suspect. This gap right here is massive. Like, it's a whole finger's worth. Now, if you remember the passenger side, how it was sticking over, this one is sticking back on the bumper, so the bumper's exposed. Where the fender panel meets the bumper panel doesn't line up the best. That gap is quite a bit off. That line there is pretty messed up. And then when you open the door, this is where things are getting really suspect. It looks like they were trying to fill some sort of gap right here with Bondo. So I am kind of nervous to pull off this panel. Hopefully there's not too many surprises underneath that fender flare. It is also missing the roof moldings, so we're gonna have to pick some of those up. If you open the trunk or the hatch, if I can get it open, there are no struts on it. So to hold this thing open is definitely a pain in the ass. I suppose we can move on to the interior now. So it's missing that trim piece there. Wiring is cut off on the end right there, so we're gonna have to get that all figured out. Missing the radio, missing the e-brake cover. Both front seat belts are gone. Something's broken up in here because that thing's completely loose and floppy. It does have this NRG wheel in it, which it's missing the airbag, so then it kicks on the airbag light. And what other lights are on? I think there's the ABS light on as well. Let's fire it up. So it's got traction control light, the brake light, TPMS, ABS, airbag, hill assist. Pretty much every light you could ever dream of except for the check engine light is on. Other than that, the interior is not so bad. It's missing the rear view mirror as well. So yeah, let's move on to the engine bay. This thing the whole way back home kept wanting to die. It needs a lot of work. I'm not sure why. I need to like really dig into this thing, figure out what's going on. Hood struts are missing. It has like an 02 to 05 WRX intercooler, which is very weird to me. It honestly does not look like a VF39, so I don't know if it's a TD04. Fuse box cover's missing. This evap stuff here is just loose and flopping around. Overall, pretty freaking disgusting engine bay. She needs a lot of love. AC belt is broken. And then if you watched the purchase video of this car, the main thing I was concerned with is the Brembo brakes are missing, which is a pretty expensive item. Main things I was concerned with is making sure it had a true STI transmission in it. I ran the code on that. It is a 08 STI tranny, and it is still a 2.5 liter with dual ABCS STI heads. So overall, I feel like it's a good base. It is still a clean title. It is fairly like decently low miles. It's just over 90,000 miles. It just needs a lot of love, a lot of little things. When driving this thing, it's super rattly, pulls you all over the road, needs a really bad alignment. I'm not sure what coilovers are on this car, but they are super stiff. Brakes do not work good whatsoever. There's many times where you hit the brakes and it feels like they're not doing anything, and then all of a sudden they'll just grab really hard. It's very weird. I'm not sure if it's because it has the WRX brakes on it with maybe the STI master cylinder. Not really sure what's going on there. Either way, we're definitely gonna go back to the STI Brembos because it needs it. Couple more things I just noticed. Went and popped open the hood and was kind of looking around, trying to figure out what direction I want to take this build. Radiator stays are missing, battery trays missing, battery tie downs missing. The freaking boost controller is missing. There's no boost controller on this car whatsoever, which is very suspect. Explains why she makes no power whatsoever. I think I'm gonna go ahead, jack the car up, crawl under it. I put it on the lift, but it's being used, so I just want to take a quick look underneath the car and see if there's any obvious things wrong with it or things that are missing. I don't really see anything crazy going on underneath the car. Looks like she has some aftermarket end links, maybe some bushings back there. Overall, honestly, pretty surprised. Nice and clean. Don't really see an oil leak anywhere. She does have a full exhaust, so downpipe and the catback. Not sure what downpipe that is, and I'm not really sure what catback that is. I do want to figure out what coilovers these are, just to see if they're anything decent so we can run with them. Just did some digging around. They are K-Sport coilovers, and I don't know if those are decent or not. I feel like that's kind of a cheaper brand. Where's my phone? Looks like they're about $700 to $800. I'm gonna run with them for now. They're not an eBay quality coilover. I feel like they're a little bit above that. So I'm gonna run with them. I'm gonna test them out, see if we can get them to ride better later on. But yeah, as you guys can see, this thing needs a lot of love and I'm very excited for it. To be honest, to me, this looks like a car that somebody had, they started building and they didn't really want to finish it. Seeing how it's missing so many like odds and ends, I don't know who put the wide body kit on. I do know the previous owner did the wrap on it. They actually own a wrap shop and the wrap looks absolutely amazing on it. They did say that this tech wrap is a little bit harder to work with, so I'm excited to test it out. Of course, we have to redo that whole quarter panel and the pillar, bumpers, all that good stuff. So I'm excited to try it out, see how I like it. But yeah, overall the wrap looks really, really nice. And this color's sick. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this wrap. All right, guys, let's make some progress on this thing today. I wanna get it cleaned up. First thing we're gonna do is just strip these things off though. I shattered this one when we had to break into it. So all these guys are gonna come off. I like them, but not when they're broken. Let's go ahead and pull this thing outside. We gotta give it a good bath. I'm gonna do the engine bay as well. It's all nice and cooled down now. Get a good idea of how the rest of this body is. I always get questions every time I pressure wash an engine bay about if it's actually safe to do or not. A couple things I would look out for. Would not recommend pressure washing right into the alternator. If you have like a cone filter on, of course, don't get that wet. If you do, just pull it off and clean it. And in our scenario, I would not recommend getting water in the fuse box because our fuse box cover is missing. Other than that, it should be all right. Exterior of the car, clean up really nice. Overall, I'm pretty excited about it. We did pick up a front bumper for the car as well. This here is the bumper. I have no idea what brand it is. It looks to be in really, really good condition. I know it's like a Voltex or Varis style, but I highly doubt it's an actual authentic bumper. Let's go ahead and get it on the car, see how it fits. Of course, we do still need to cut it for the wide body kit. And we have to also try and mock up the wide body front bumper pieces if we decide to run them. So let's get it slapped on and see if it looks all right. Unfortunately, the bumper hits the factory crash beam, which we're probably gonna have to pull that off anyway when we go to a front mount. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off right now, just so we can get this bumper on the car. Like I said, I highly doubt there's about a 0% chance this is a legit bumper, but whatever brand it is, if it's really nice. So I'm excited for that. That wrap is completely peeling off. Looks like they started to remove it and just gave up on the project. But of course, we're gonna have to rewrap it to match this car anyway. Let's see how big of a deal it is gonna be to fit the wide body front bumper extensions, being that there's this giant lip on the bottom of this thing. We could always run it without, but I think it always looks kind of unfinished if you don't have those things on. Definitely gonna be a ton of work, guys, but I think with enough patience and practice, we can get them to fit. It's gonna be a lot of work, and I'm not very good with fiberglass, but looks like it might be time to get better at fiberglass. There's always bound to be some surprises underneath vinyl wrap. I don't really care about that. Probably gonna go ahead and sand that a little bit smoother. It's a little bit rough feeling, but all this up here, looks like when they sprayed out this bumper, they didn't do a very good prep job up here. So all of this is gonna have to be sanded flat, sanded smooth. There cannot be any peeling paint when we go to rewrap this bumper, which that's gonna be a little bit down the road. One thing I wanna do right now real quick, I wanna make sure that when they jack the Brembos off this car, that they didn't take all the STI hubs and all that stuff too. So I'm just gonna pull off a wheel. If the wheel's still 5 and 114, I'm pretty confident that the hubs and the knuckles and everything else except for the Brembos is still original STI. Fairly confident that they are still 114s. I thought it'd say on the back of the wheel somewhere, but it's not. So these are 18 by 10.5 plus 12. And you guys saw how far in these stick. So we're gonna need like an 18 by 11.5 plus 0, somewhere in that range, just so this thing doesn't look so sunken in on the wheel fitment. I could measure that, or I could just grab a 114 wheel, slap it on, see how she fits. As you can see, the Evo 8 wheels fit on there just fine. So indeed, it still is 5 on 114. That was one of my bigger worries. And I don't know if that's even like how realistic that is to swap WRX stuff back onto an STI. Regardless though, pretty excited that it's just the Brembos missing. I love the style wheel. The style of wheel on this car would be insane. Too bad they don't make them in the proper spec for this thing. All right, we got all the cars back in the shop. Safe to say we are pretty much maxed out on shop space. If we keep buying more cars, we're gonna need a bigger shop. But I think we have enough projects for now. Safe to say. Nice little overview. Figured out what we need to buy for the STI. Figured out what we need to fix on the STI. I'm excited for this build. I hope you guys are too. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.